Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexandra and today let's make together these small triangle earrings. They are really easy to make and the technique we're using today it's called peyote. But in this tutorial I want to show you how to make them in one go. Now what does that mean? In most tutorials you will find online, people usually make two beaded triangles and then they unite them at the end to make the stud earring. But I don't really like that because if the earring is small then it means that it's more difficult to make. Also you have two threads, one for the front part and one for the back part, and then you will have 4 knots at the end. But I have found a way to make them much easier, and I will show you how to do that today. So let's get started. For this tutorial you will need seed beads. I'm using Miyuki Delica's size 11 and the color is opaque cream. You will also need a stud earring pin. I'm using this one that is 6 millimeters, and as you can see the color is a bit different for the front, and I will show you a little trick that I did. I actually painted the pin with some nail polish because my color is cream and I wanted it to not to be silver color, so I used that. That is my little trick. You will also need thread. I'm using this one that is 0.10 millimeters. And for this project I already cut approximately 40 centimeters. You will also need a needle. I'm using these ones that are size 11. And you will need cutting pliers or scissors. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is pick up 3 seed beads and take them towards the end of the thread. And then what you want to do is go up through all the seed beads from the opposite direction, like this. And you want to leave a small section of thread at the end. And what I will do is go through the first bead again, like this. This creates for us a little triangle. If you're used to the peyote technique, then maybe this is familiar for you. Okay, so I'm exiting one of the beads, and what we need to do next is take 2 seed beads and take them in the next bead, like this. You want to make sure that your beads are sitting properly. And we will be repeating this 3 times, every time adding 2 seed beads and going through the next bead. And this is the last one, and what you have to do is go up to the next row, so like this. And now we will repeat the same steps, 2 seed beads and go only to the next bead every time we're working with the current row. And now, because we have a gap here, I will actually add 1 seed bead in between. And let's continue. 2 more here. Okay. 1 here. And this is the last no, actually not the last bead from our row. We have 1 more. So this is the last one, and what I will do is go through the next bead and then also the next one. We're always trying to go up to the next row, like this. This is what you have at the end of this row. So we need to repeat this a few more times. This is going to make our first triangle from the front. This is going to be our front. So I added 2 seed beads, then I'm adding one in between, and then another one. And every time we are having another row, we are increasing the number of beads in our peyote by 1. That's why now we're adding 2 beads instead of 1. So like this, and this is our last row. Well, not last row, sorry, our last side on this row. Okay, now again what we have to do is go through 2 beads. So every time we are finishing a row, we are always going up 2 beads. And this is what we have so far. And let me check how many rows I have to add. So I'm counting from here, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 5th one has only 1 bead at the top. So what I have so far is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this is the 5th one. So what I will do here is, instead of adding 2 beads to my triangle, I will add only 1 all around. So this round is with only 1 bead and not 2 beads. This will create the outer edge of the earring. And this will be our front triangle, and then we will be moving on to making the back of the earring. Don't worry about the thread, we will be cutting it later in the tutorial. Okay, so every time we're reaching the edge of the triangle, I'm adding only 1 bead instead of 2. Make sure that your thread doesn't get stuck like mine here. Yep. Okay, so what we need to do is, we're finishing the row, and what we need to do is go through 2 beads. And what we've done so far is the front triangle of the earring. And now let's move on to making the back of the triangle. So what we need to do next is add another bead between all the beads from our previous row. So we're exiting this bead, and we will be adding 1 bead between all the beads from our previous row. Like this. So we are here, and what I will do is add the bead here through the bead from the corners of the triangle. So I will repeat this all around the triangle. Don't worry if the beads from this corner don't look right, they will, and I will show you how to do it in 1 second. Okay, so what we're actually doing is repeating the same steps as before, but this time using the the single beads from the corners of the triangle. So like this, and this is the last one from this row. So what I need to do is go up through the first bead from our last row like this. Don't worry about this part, it will look good in a few more moments. So we have to do exactly the same steps as we've done before, inserting one seed bead through the beads from the side of the triangle like this, and we are here. And what we need to do next is skip this bead and go through the next bead like this. This will create our actually I will do it on this side. This will create our the round bead, the round part from the side of the earring. So let's continue. We have to do this for all the beads in our row. And already we are starting to decrease. And what I mean by decreasing is that here we are not adding any beads. If you notice on the front of the earring, what we did actually was increase the beadwork every time by adding 2 beads here. But this is the back of the earring, so on the back of the earring we're actually decreasing our stitch. So again, it's already starting to curve, which is exactly what we need. Oh, sorry, I forgot on this step. So this is the end of our row, and what we need to do is go through the next bead from here. Maybe on this side you can see it better. No, actually on this side. So we are skipping the bead from here, and what we need to do is go up to our last row. So every time we're finishing the current row, we're going to the next row. So we're going through 2 beads, and now what we need to do is keep on adding beads to the sides of the triangle, and only to the sides. To the corners of the triangle we are actually skipping like this. So this is a perfect example. We are going through the bead from the next row like this. Actually the previous row, sorry, this is the current row. Like this. So here what we need to do is go through the next bead from our last row, and this will unite the 2 beads together, and this is the last side of the earring. And now what we're doing is we're skipping, adding a bead here, and we are actually going through the next bead, and then what we have to do is go through to our last row like this. And now the only thing we have left to do is put our pin inside the beadwork like this. And what if you notice, we have one gap here between each of the rows of the side of the earring. So what we will do is insert one bead only here, and what we're gonna do is go to the next bead from the side of the triangle like this, and here we have to add one bead. This is way easier to make than to explain. So again, let's skip adding a bead, and then we're adding one to the sides of the triangle like this, and we almost finished our earring. So what we need to do next is go through the next bead from this side, and then what we want to do is go through the beads from our last row. And because our last row has only 3 beads, what I want to do is reinforce those. So I will go only through the three beads from my last row. This is exactly what we've done on the front of the earring, but this time it's on the back of the earring. And instead of increasing, we have been actually decreasing the beadwork. I hope you understood the steps that we've done. Like this. I think this is enough. Maybe I will go through one more. Okay, so the earring is finished, but what we need to do is get rid of the thread. So what I want to do is go through one of the beads next to my bead that I'm exiting here. So I was exiting this bead and then I'm going up. And now what I want to do is go to the other side. So I'm going in this bead. I don't know if you can see. I'm exiting this one and I'm going inside this one. And I need to find a small piece of thread for making the knot. So 1 second. These earrings are very, very tiny. So what I'm doing is trying to find some thread. No, I cannot find it here, so I will go to the next bead. And hopefully I'm gonna be able to find a small piece of thread here. I did. And what I'm actually doing is I'm going underneath the thread with the needle, and then I'm going inside the circle I just made. Like this. This will make our knot, and we're using the thread underneath the, not underneath the bead, but the thread that is going inside the bead to make the knot. And now what I need to do is go through the next bead. So my knot is here, right before the bead. And now what I need to do is go to the next bead and then pull the thread and then cut it as close to the bead as possible. Like this. So we got rid of the thread from the back, and what we need to do is get rid of the thread from the front. And I am here, I'm exiting this bead right here. So what I want to do is go up so I can get to the back of the earring. So I'm going through the next 2 beads like this. I think my thread is a little bit big for these beads. Okay, so I'm here, and now what I need to do is go through the top bead of the of the earring, and I already flipped the earring to the back side. So I'm exiting this bead right here, and what I want to do is go through the next one and make sure that your thread does not get stuck like mine. So here what I want to do is go underneath the thread from these two beads like this, and then go inside the circle just made. This will make the knot. Like this. Actually, my thread is a little bit small. I should have left a little bit more in the beginning, but it's okay, it's manageable. Okay, so pull the thread, and now let's take the needle and go through the next bead that is next to this one, like this. This way we have we did hide the knot, and now we have to cut the thread, and that's it. This is our finished earrings. If you make them, let me know how they turned out for you. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. That's it for today's tutorial. I will see you in the next one, where I will be making a variation of these earrings. Thank you for watching, and stay safe. Bye.